Hello and welcome to episode 85 of the Movie Bros podcast. We are your hosts, as always, Duncan and Hayden. Hello, hello.
Hello, everyone. Welcome back to the podcast. If you're new here, obviously we're not welcoming you back, but we're going to welcome you regardless. We are two brothers who love movies, talk about movies, argue about movies, discuss movies, and we're here to record it and send it out in the world for you guys to enjoy, hopefully. We cover all types, all genres, all categories, even ones that are sometimes hard to pin down, like today. If you have suggestions, comments, complaints, you can find us on Instagram at the movie_bros. Duncan has his own separate podcast, which I'll let him plug here in just a second. If you enjoyed the podcast, or hell, even if you didn't, remember to like, share, favorite, comment, and spread us around like a virus. Is there anything else I should add on to that, Duncan?
No. I mean, there's 84 episodes plus special features, like just this last week, a nice longer form extra. But
Sure.
otherwise, yeah. My podcast is Dunk's Movie Corner. It's just a quick little recap of what I watched in a week. It's literally like sometimes it's 5 minutes, sometimes it's 15 or whatever. But otherwise, this week for the Movie Bros, we are going to be talking about / we watched Caught Stealing. And Hayden, what are some fast film facts for Caught Stealing?
Well, this was released last year in 2025. It is fairly new for us, even though sometimes we do see things in theater. I probably would have enjoyed this in theater, but I don't remember why I didn't do that. This is directed by, I would say, auteur, I think is probably the right word. Director Darren Aronofsky, known for things like Requiem for a Dream, The Fountain, Pi, Mother, and Noah. This is written by Charlie Houston, based upon the book of the same name, that was also written by him. He's known for also writing the screenplay for the recent The Bike Riders of Tom Hardy, that also had Austin Butler in it. Music here is by Rob Simonson, and a bit of tidbit there is that he also scored a movie that we previously watched last year. Duncan, what do you believe it was, based upon the kind of music that was in this?
Gosh,
It's a completely different genre.
Remind me the fella's name.
Rob Simonson.
Completely different. I got nothing.
He also did the music for Deadpool and Wolverine.
Huh.
But now that I say that, I'm like, it's also kind of like very drum heavy, very like industrial electronica almost. So it's kind of similar. And cinematography here is by Matthew Libatek. It's a French last name. I'm sure I butchered it. Known for pretty much every other Darren Aronofsky movies. They all kind of have a similar look to them. And then also, he shot Birds of Prey, which we did probably 2 years ago at this point.
I forgot that we even did that as an episode.
Regardless, so this stars obviously Austin Butler, Matt Smith, Zoe Kravitz. I'm going to butcher the two Russian henchmen's names, so I apologize in advance. Nikita Kukuryshkin and Yuri Koloknikov. Also starring Regina King, Liev Schreiber, Vincent Denofrio, featuring Bad Bunny, Carol Kane, and Tonic the Cat.
Of course, we got to make sure we know who the cat is, yes.
Well, I mean, genuinely, the cat's kind of a main character.
Sort of.
He is on screen more than Zoe Kravitz.
And survives longer, yes.
Well, we'll get into
that. Ratings?
So we did see each other in person a couple days ago just because we were doing some family stuff. So we kind of briefly talked about this already, but I absolutely loved this. I think I would give this like a 4.5 out of 5, probably a 5 if I could be talked around to it. I really, really enjoyed it. It is definitely the most approachable thing Aronofsky has ever made.
I had that thought too.
And I would say that if you enjoyed this, I don't know that I would actually recommend you try the other ones because they are much grimmer, much more depressing. They're kind of like the first 45 minutes of this.
Yeah, I mean, I've seen The Whale, and I was like, man,
I
this doesn't even feel like the same. Like this does. It's almost completely different.
see that's the one of his that I actually haven't seen. I've seen the other ones.
I also completely forgot that he does that Noah, which just seems kind of like
Oh, that was a dog ass movie. Yeah, it was not
out of the
good.
blue. Like, hey, it's fucking Russell Crowe for whatever reason.
I There are interesting parts of that. This is an entirely different discussion, and I don't know how much about it I want to discuss because it has to do with my personal opinions about religion and stuff. So I'm not sure if that's worth it for this right now.
Okay.
But back on track to Caught Stealing, I really loved it. How about you?
Yeah, no, I liked it a great deal. I gave it a very solid 4 to 5. I think there are some things that I have issue with, um, and we'll talk about it. But otherwise, uh, no, I think Austin. I think the casting is good. I think the the writing for a very interesting, not really knowing what things are going to happen next story, uh, and it's enough famous people in it where it's popular, but it's also not like, oh, it's George Clooney, and or the people that are famous in it aren't so like, oh, I'm being my classic.
It's very true.
Matt Smith is fucking ridiculous in this, and
Well, I mean, I would say arguably Matt Smith, no disregard, but no disrespect to Austin Butler, I think he's probably the more recognizable face
I
just because of
mean,
things like
I don't
Doctor Who
know.
and other things like that.
Austin Butler has, I mean, now he has become
That's
a
very true.
big name for sure. I mean, he's signed on to do Heat, so
Yeah.
I think he's popular
Well, I mean,
enough. But
I'm not saying he's not a recognizable actor, but like other than the main character, he's the only one that people are going to be like, oh, well, I know him from something else.
sure, I mean, either way. So yes, 4 to 5. Interesting setting, like '90s New York, kind of a grungy music feels. Yeah, I mean, we'll talk more specifics in the discussion part, but yes, just for ratings, 4 to 5, and like a very solid 4 to 5. Yeah, just listing off some of the things that I liked. I mean, some of the cinematography was interesting. The setting, the choice of era, I think was interesting. That way, you could do a lot of. I mean, it's an era that isn't used a lot in like '90s New York. It's not really, and usually when you think '90s New York, you think of like, oh, You've Got Mail or When Harry Met Sally, and this is so very not that type of thing.
It's very true. I I I made a joke about it on my own Instagram, but like I almost feel sorry for the people who didn't know what kind of movies this guy makes and went into this expecting like a crime comedy because there
Well,
are comedic moments, but for a lot of us, this is very much his usual brand of like very depressing character work.
Well, that's really one of my issues with the movie is I think the marketing. Because yeah, I think to be
Yeah,
honest, it was marketed as a crime comedy, and it's not that. Which it's still good at not being that, but just the
yeah,
first
I
time I
agree.
saw this, I was like, oh, I'm not having as much fun. Like I'm not laughing. Uh, I mean, I don't know if we want to just get to the whole like certain characters dying at certain points in the movie yet, but yeah, I don't know. It just wasn't what I was really, especially with all the trailers and the press. And I'm like, oh, these characters are going to be around. Like it's not just his
Yeah.
movie. And then you realize, oh, it really is just kind of his movie. Period.
Well, like whoever cut the trailer, because oftentimes it's not the director's choice. It's usually a
Yep.
studio
Yep.
selection. But like whoever cut this trailer grabbed all the Zoe Kravitz scenes they possibly
Yes.
could to make it
Yes.
look like she was in there for the whole movie. And don't get me wrong, her character is important. What her
Mm-hmm.
character means for Austin Butler's
Yes.
story
Yes.
arc is important, but like
Yes.
she doesn't survive more than a half an hour of film.
So I double checked. The movie is I don't remember the runtime, but she's dead at exactly 45 minutes in,
Yeah, like it,
which is
and
almost halfway.
yeah.
But
Well,
I
I
remember
do think
very
it's interesting that there is a very clear tonal shift when Matt Smith's character returns from London.
Mm-hmm.
Like, that's when the more, if I guess we could label it a certain way, the more Guy Ritchie-esque parts of the movie kind of pick up, because
Mm-hmm.
before that it's very much the heavy drama of
Yes.
Austin Butler's character just going through the worst shit imaginable.
Which I mean, I have it in my notes. Like most of this movie is just like, oh, poor Hank. Like it's just uh, wrong place, wrong time for the most part for a lot of this.
Well, I actually really like his character's journey of, he's both literally and emotionally running from everything the entire movie until the very end. I mean, yes, it is in the title of Caught Stealing. It's a
Yes.
baseball reference. There's a lot of that in this, but
Yes.
um, I really like that character arc, and I think I don't remember what else we talked about, but I mentioned really liking stories about plots that spiral out of control. That is 1,000% this movie in a lot of ways. So really liked it. Yeah,
Just looking at my notes, trying to do this in order. I like so it's not something that is always, I think, done well. And I think you and I have talked about this before. Even I think we talked about it with Evil Dead Rise. Is the title
mm,
card? So many
it's
title
true.
cards are not that interesting. I'm like, dude, this is like the first major thing that most people see for the movie, and the like subway tiles.
I
I
thought
don't
that
know,
was
just it.
cool.
Yeah, I liked it. The one of the I mean, obviously, it's a major part of, throughout the movie of his like guilt that he basically represses and turns to drinking. But the whole drinking as a bartender stereotype is such a stereotype that I absolutely hate, because people just assume, oh, you're a bartender,
Sure.
and like I get it, but at this, like it's you have readily access, and like especially if you're in '90s New York where like liquor licenses and
Well,
things like that are just not really a thing as much. But
I would also say the kind of bar he works in and the bar that you
yes,
work at are
very
vastly
different.
different.
Sure, Zoe Kravitz. I mean, just the first couple scenes with her, she's so goddamn hot. Like, oh
Yeah.
my fucking god, dude.
What, you didn't remember the Batman?
I mean, hey, I would do a whole episode on the Batman, but uh,
We probably can.
her and Austin Butler, they don't need that many scenes to establish A, the relationship, and B, their like just insane chemistry with each other.
Yeah, I agree.
Totally believed it.
Something that I wrote down is that, like, while I am almost always of the opinion that sex scenes are unneeded, and I think that the one in this is possibly still unneeded. I
Yeah.
actually kind of liked the way it was choreographed. Like, it wasn't
Yes. Agreed.
it wasn't just, hey, let's take Zoe Kravitz's top off for no reason. Like, it almost felt more, I want to say, like ballet-ish, but it felt like it was intentionally, like, yeah, like,
Yes.
it felt like it
With
was
the baseball hat and
intentionally
everything. Yes.
choreographed, and yeah, it was kind of cool.
Mm-hmm. Oh, and them
And
like
and
basically racing each other to take their clothes
yeah,
off, and then just like looking at each other. I was like, God damn, dude, this is hot. Woo!
yeah, Austin Butler with it in his boxers really get you, man, huh?
Okay, that's not at all what I meant. Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
Fucking Dwayne. I love that was a running joke throughout the entire movie. I thought that was
Well,
great.
I also really like that joke of them kind of poo pooing the idea of someone designing websites in 1997.
Yes. Uh, I didn't catch it till the very end, but now that I've seen it through the first time, did you catch his mom's voice on the phone? Did you recognize it before you actually got to the end and saw who his mom was?
No, because I wasn't thinking about it. I assumed it was just going to be some actress, and they just got a voice actress for it. I didn't realize it was literally going to be Laura Dern.
Totally random, and I did the first time exact same thing. I was like, oh, it's just some random woman on the phone, and then last scene I was like, oh shit, was that her the whole fucking time? I was just agreeing with you, saying like, oh, like the first time I saw this,
Something that I really liked, I mean, I think I noticed it while I was watching, but more so on reflection, is that this is an incredibly well lit movie, because so much of it takes place at night or dusk. Almost none of it takes place during the daytime, except I think maybe the car chase sequence, if you can call it that. and everything is lit by like desk lamps and bar signs and
Hmm.
street lights. Like it looks phenomenal.
Well, it's weird. There were some scenes where it was really crisp, but then there were some scenes where I was like, it's almost like they put film over this because there's grain on it, but not the whole
I
movie.
wondered that too. Like I don't think that they shot this on physical film just because
No,
that's gone so much by the wayside these days. But they definitely went through and added some in to help sell that it's from the 90s.
but not every, like some scenes were like, oh, super super crisp,
Well,
like
I
all of the
think it's
stuff
interesting. Sorry, go ahead.
of all the stuff of like the car crash throughout his
That's what I was gonna
nightmares.
say.
I was like, oh, this is like Mythbusters, like Jesus.
Well, I so there are the two big important for the plot car crashes that we see. I
Hmm.
love that slow motion,
Oh,
slow
of the
down.
post, yes,
It's very cool.
yes.
I mean, I guess I should have assumed it by the title. I was not expecting this to be so baseball heavy.
I mean, it is, but like, I don't know. There's so much everything else going on that like I think it's a balance. I think it's enough that like, oh, I get the references and like I understand that like he grew
Sure.
up being a player. The I played real ball, the whole bit with him and the detective, but
The
it's
whole
not.
where she's like kind of interrogating him, but
But kind of
kind of
fucking
under
with
the
him.
guise of
Yes.
like, "Oh, I'm definitely trying to help you." That is
Hmm.
such a well acted scene because you can tell that like she's got something else going on, but
Sure.
but his character is way too like shell shocked to notice it.
Hmm.
So good.
There's a, I think it must be a drone shot or something where it's cutting through all the back fire escapes of all the buildings and it's showing when he's climbing out the outside.
Yeah.
I love that shot. So so cool.
That's a great drone shot. Similar to the one where I mean it's shown in a trailer, but it flies through the globe sculpture.
Mm-hmm.
Also very cool. I almost did not recognize Vincent Denofrio in this just because he has that crazy ridiculous beard on.
Well, him it looks almost natural. With Liev Schreiber, I'm like, it's pretty obviously this is new. This is Liev Schreiber wearing this stuff.
Yeah.
Speaking of those guys, so it's just thinking of it as a cast of an ensemble, like the the rogues gallery of like, oh, here's Bad Bunny. Okay, here's two Hasidic Jew guys. Here's these two Russian ones. One with a big facial birthmark,
And I love that they
which
never address it. Through the
never
entire movie,
and
it's never addressed.
the whole that he's just kind of a crazy little dude who speaks in like sort of rhymes.
I kind so
I loved that shit.
I kind of I loved it too, and I understood that as that's he only knows like
Those kind of English words, yes.
yeah, like that's the English he knows is like random, product jingles and things like that. I thought that was really funny.
Hmm. I love that the Jew brothers, are they brothers? Or are they? I don't know if they're
I
brothers.
couldn't tell. I think we're supposed to assume that they are.
Either way, the Jew brothers, their van is like the '90s Astrovan with the fake wood paneling, just all the like little
Yep.
touches that made you remember, oh, this is the era that this is in.
Well, it's like the bit where Austin Butler is making food in the kitchen or something like that, and he's listening to sports radio. He's not
Yep,
watching it on a TV. He's not watching it on a podcast. Like sports radio. That's such a '90s thing.
sure. Uh, the first time, obviously, I didn't know it was coming. Second time when it came on, I was like, I'm just gonna skip through this. But when they're pulling with the pliers, his staples or stitches or whatever, fuck, dude,
Yeah, I was
Jesus
kind of here
Christ,
for it because
woof,
that's kind of the thing that I watch. But like, that's so uncomfortable.
yeah, goddamn. The whole bit with Paul at Paul's bar with the shotgun and just it felt
Oh,
so
that's
like,
so out of nowhere. That's so
well,
great.
it's great, but it felt like, oh, it felt like they literally pulled Paul off the streets of New York. Like he felt like such a realized character.
Yes, I
Like
I, I love
that
that
guy
all
is
of
Paul.
the both Paul and the fat guy who he's arguing with and doing coke with. He had a
Amtrak,
ridiculous name. Yeah, Amtrak.
who
They
is
both
technically
just
Action
look.
Bronson. Yes.
Yes, I did notice that in the cast. Like, that's not a worth, casting to bring up in the Fast Film Facts. But yes, that is Action Bronson. Um, they both look like they just work at that bar.
It's good
The
casting.
costuming on this is sneakily well done.
Mm-hmm. The leather vest plus the ponytail on Paul. Yes.
Mm-hmm.
I feel
But also,
like it's
I
sort of. Oh, go ahead. Sorry.
I was just gonna say that I really love the cinematography on this. I know we've mentioned the drone shots, but what I also really love here is that all of the I might use the wrong terminology, but all the tracking shots here that like are panning in between all the alleyways are like
Mm-hmm.
just kind of following Hank as he walks around. I love the sense of movement that it gives the plot because otherwise, until the 45-minute mark or so, a lot of this is just him either standing in a room or he's talking to someone or he's on the phone, but the camera is almost always moving, so you don't notice how much of this is just still rooms.
What I was saying was, as I feel like I kind of discount his, or at least I did discount his performance in most movies because I'm like, oh, he's a Disney Channel kid. Like, yes, he did Elvis and all this, and he had I mean, he was good in his minor role in Dune 2, which, man,
Yeah,
that movie's fucking great. But honestly, like, a pretty good performance from Austin Butler throughout the movie. I was
I
like, I'm kind of like, I forgot that he's like, this is pretty good acting. I
I was
believe this.
impressed as well because I know there's a joke in the internet that he never truly left the Elvis voice behind.
Yes,
I think in this, he, it comes across as a completely different character. I really
absolutely.
thought he did well here.
Mm-hmm. The bit when he's at the beach and he's on the phone with his mom, I was like, oh, like this
Yeah,
is like there's emotion here, like, and it's not like I'm feeling sad, I feel regret. Oh
I
no.
agree. I agree.
The whole bit with Shabbos with the Jews and their like Hasidic mother,
Yes,
grandmother, I don't know,
mother.
and then them just like calmly eating the soup. I liked, but that is where I feel like the momentum kind of stumbled a little bit for me. There's too much of a like it was. I feel like it was ramping up and up and up, and then there was too much of a plateau there.
I think I mean I agree, but I feel like that's there because Aronofsky really wanted to make something that was like more general audience based, and so that's why I think this has more comedic elements than literally anything else he's ever made.
Maybe.
So I think that's why that's there. But I agree that like okay, there are plans forming, there are alliances being made. You can see Hank trying to, grapple back on top of the situation there, and then we pause all of it so that they can eat really unappetizing looking soup.
And then they go from there to Uzis and grenades in the glove box. Uh, See, those are moments where I'm like, I feel like this could have been if it was the same story and they put this in someone else's hands, this would have been more comedic.
I agree.
Because even scenes like that, I'm like, like this is fun and crazy, but it didn't. I don't know if it was the music or the blocking or something, and I'm like, this doesn't feel as like holy shit, this is fun. I don't know.
I feel like what this what I mean, don't get me wrong. There's a lot to love in this, even though we've kind of covered a lot of it here. What I love so much about this is that there are consequences to everything, and I feel like contrary to say a Guy Ritchie movie, there's not really consequences for the main characters. Like in Snatch, you can shoot people, you can blow things up, you can do a whole bunch of stuff, and it's laughed off, and the story just kind of carries on. If
Fair.
if if the gag where Austin Butler accidentally, clocks Matt Smith's character with a bat happens in Snatch, nothing really happens with it other than, hey, you hit me with a bat. I love that it is played out here that he literally, fractured his skull and it kills him.
Dude, the bump is crazy.
That's such a great prosthetic, but like,
Well, and it's good that it's. I mean, it starts out. I mean, oh, it's a bump, and like by the time they get to the train where he eventually passes out and or potentially dies, like it's huge.
yeah, I love that it meant that things had weight here, whereas I
Sure.
think in possibly
Stakes.
another director's hands it might not have. And I think to what you were saying, talking about them going into that casino with the wedding happening, that is wild and it is wacky. I think because these characters aren't fucking around, and
Sure. That makes
they're
sense.
not there for comedic relief. That's why it's not like ha ha funny, because I mean like even the Bad Bunny character I actually thought was decently like intimidating. um like even him, you kind of know that okay, he's not here to be funny.
Sure. Were you expecting to see the gunlighter at the end?
I was not. I thought that's a
I
great
remember
twist.
it was good. The first time I saw it, I was like, "Oh shit!"
And there's subtle shift in the music when he does that, because it's kind of playing getaway music, and then he brings that out, and they bring that like electronic bass back up, and like, oh shit, this is serious again. Because I fully bought that the Russian guys
Mm-hmm.
had killed the girl, because they even took credit for it, and I
Yes.
think probably as a way to try to intimidate Hank. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's a great reveal.
I thought it was, yeah. Well, and that's what it takes for him to actually crash the car again, and the culmination of I'm running away to Tulum, which, man, I was like, I'd go there tomorrow. Holy shit, dude, that looks fantastic. But Austin Butler as Matt Smith, also great
That
at
that
the
is the part
airport.
where I like actually laughed. And I don't know that I like that. That's
Yeah, I
why it's
think
not
it's
like
fine.
well, but like I was so sold on that like gritty, grounded, pitch black comedy that I don't know if I like it just being fully silly at the end.
Well, it wasn't
That's
silly.
why it's like a
He's like,
four and a
oh,
half out of five.
he forgave himself to a certain degree, and he found happiness somewhere else. He's
Yeah,
letting go of drinking. He's not having to listen to the ball game. It's like the peace of the
that is true.
beach, like him looking off of
I
the
did
water. I
like
was like,
that
I love that
scene.
shot.
I really love that shot, and I love the weight of him at that bar,
Mm-hmm.
turning off the game at the I like that
Yep.
critical moment. I think that's
Yes.
really great character work. I think that was very cool.
Mm-hmm.
Would you recommend this to people?
I would. I mean, I would probably be like, hey, uh, it's crazy. I would probably preface like, oh, it's not a like Guy Ritchie or like
Yeah,
a caper. Uh, yeah, an action depressing drama. I don't know.
sure. I think it's a very dark comedy, I think is what I would say. And I would also definitely recommend it to people. I would recommend it to people and then say, hey, don't watch the trailer because you will get
Yes,
the wrong impression.
absolutely. Does it
Does it
bucket or does it
buckets?
merchandise?
I think that's difficult to do. Okay, merchandise. I think you could. I
Cat,
think you could sell.
stuffed cat.
I think you could sell stuffed cats. I think you could sell those little mini bats.
Yeah, and it says caught stealing on it or something. Yeah, I
Yeah,
like that.
I mean, you could sell the Dodger hats, although I think that'd be hard to get the Dodgers
Giants.
Giants, New York
Go
Giants. That's
Giants. Come
correct.
on.
Well,
It would be San Francisco Giants. New York
right,
Giants
because
is football.
that's where I'm like, I know that's a team. Yeah, New York is Mets and freaking
Yankees.
what's the other Yankees? The other one, yes.
Yeah, they
Yeah, I,
referenced
I
the
I
Mets
think it
in the
definitely
game in the movie.
merchandises. I don't believe it popcorn buckets.
Yeah, I don't think it does. Okay. Well, folks, that was Caught Stealing. We should say, if you're curious, folks, yes, there is a book, but this is available on Netflix currently, at least. Sometimes, obviously, that stuff changes, but if you want, check it out. It's there. And from there, folks, we're going to be transitioning into what we watched, what we're going to watch, all that jazz. Hayden, is there anything you watched or wanting to watch or trailers or actually
Well,
let's
there's
because
a
I know there's a
there's
trailer you and I can talk about, but let's start with things we watched.
I was actually going to debate on whether or not we talk about that trailer as it's not a movie. However, I have watched a few things. I don't remember what I said I watched last week. I don't remember if I said it then. Did I talk about The Rule of Jenny Penn?
I don't
Had
think
Michael
so.
Gambon and
I don't remember. I don't
okay.
think so.
So I watched a. It is marketed as a horror movie called The Rule of Jenny Penn, starring John Lithgow and Michael Gambon. They both play people living in an old folks' home. Michael Gambon,
Maple?
Maple syrup. Michael Gambon plays a judge who has a stroke and is therefore wheelchair bound in this place, and he finds out that John Lithgow is faking his dementia and like sadistically torturing the other people, and then no one believes him because everyone else thinks he has dementia. I thought it was a really interesting movie. I would not say it was very scary. It's definitely more of like a drama, but I thought it was interesting enough. I watched a short documentary, which we don't hardly ever talk about documentaries here, but I watched a documentary about beavers. It was not good.
It was, I mean,
As far as documentaries go, I didn't enjoy it
yes.
as much as other ones. There were
Agreed.
some very obviously shots that were done in a studio. They were very, I mean, so if you've seen documentaries before, you'll know that they'll, especially nature documentaries, they will have a quote unquote story that is happening, even if it's, compiled of different shots and different animals. But the one in this just didn't seem all that cohesive or interesting. It was just kind of jumbled up footage of beavers, which I guess is what you're watching, but I didn't think it was that great. Um, I watched a movie called Blythe Spirit, which has been made several different times in Britain. It's a stage comedy originally, and the version I watched had Dan Stevens and Judy Dench in it. I also did not think it was very good. I've struck out a couple times this week trying random movies. Didn't think this was very good. I think it doesn't ever cross over into comedy. It stays in the realm of this is amusing, which is not the same thing. Yeah, so didn't really enjoy that. And then about 10 minutes before we were watching this, I was watching a black and white Czechoslovakian movie from like the 70s called The Golden Fern, and I legitimately fell asleep in it, so it must not have been that good. Hopefully,
All
though,
right.
Duncan, you've had better luck. What have you watched?
Let's see. Caught stealing. Yep. I rewatched Babylon, the 2022.
I really wanted to
Uh,
like it.
there are parts that I'm like, oh, this is cool, and then I'm like, oh, it's too long. It is definitely bloated. Some of like the themes of like the the love of like making movies. I'm like, oh, this
Sure.
is cool. Some of the music is really nice, and it's the transition of going from the silent era to talkies. So again, some of it is interesting. Uh,
It feels like it
there
needed
are,
more time cooking in the editing room, as far as I remember.
yeah, it felt like too much movie. Like, um, uh, I don't know if I don't know if it'd be interesting enough to do it as a two-parter though. Is the thing.
Probably not.
Uh, yeah. So I saw that. I watched The Running Man, the
Yep.
uh, Glenn
Edgar Wright.
Powell remake of the Arnold Schwarzenegger classic. This one directed
Oh,
by Edgar Wright.
speaking of Glenn Powell, I forgot I watched another movie. I'll talk about that in a second.
Yes, yes. It was a lot of fun. The third act is all over the place. Definitely Edgar Wright's least funny, like cohesive movie. Like when you think of
Oh,
Hot
it's the
Fuzz,
least
Baby Driver,
Edgar Wright movie.
yeah, just I did it honestly throughout the movie. It didn't feel that much like an Edgar Wright movie.
Hmm.
Uh, yeah, I don't know, 3.5 out of 5, something like that. And then today I watched about half. I will probably finish it. I don't know, tomorrow or the day after when I have time. While I was waiting for my car to get fixed, but I watched half of Casino Royale.
It's a
It's
fucking banger.
it's a banger. It absolutely rips. It's what I like about it. It is very nonstop the whole movie, but I think there's a difference where other movies that are nonstop are a lot of times nonstop like stressful. Like Marty Supreme is nonstop, but it's stressful the whole time. The
Sure.
difference is, oh, this is nonstop, but like I am just, it's more, I don't know, just interesting tension. It's not like, oh, I'm like stressed the fuck out watching it. Uh, what's her name? Eva Green is a very attractive young lady. Daniel Craig, I know at the time people were like, "What the fuck? You cast this guy as James Bond?" James Bond. I think he's great. Mad Mikkelsen as the bad guy is fantastic. Uh, yeah, great movie. That's kind of what I've watched. And Hayden, what was the one you missed?
So I joined my parents and we watched How to Make a Killing, which I think has a similar problem to Caught Stealing, to where it is branded as a comedy and it really isn't.
Well,
I think
I
if you
was
go into
I was
this
thinking about that
and
because even the trailers for How to Make a Killing, I'm like, it looks like it's probably not as funny as people like. Even from the trailers, I'm like, I bet it's not as funny. I don't know.
there are comedic moments. I think it works infinitely better if you go in to watch it as a drama, because if you watch it as a drama, then yeah, it's like a 3.5 out of 5. I had a good time. I don't know if I would have paid money myself to watch it in theaters,
Mm-hmm.
but I think it's definitely worth a watch. Um, I think it's probably the most I've ever seen. Uh, what's his face have to act?
Glenn Powell.
Glenn Paul have to act instead of just being ridiculously good looking in everything he does. Um, but I had a good time. I wouldn't say it was great. It was definitely good.
Oh, there was one more that I also watched. I watched something called Burning. This is from 2018. This is a South Korean film.
Oh, I've heard of that. Is that
Uh,
good?
the only reason I watched it because I was like, oh, Steven Yeun's in this, and I
Yeah.
generally most things I like Steven Yeun in. Everyone else is a like I can't pronounce most of their names. Uh, if I was in the mood for a very slow, uh, sort of uh, Korean drama about uh, not a whole lot, maybe I would be. It's just
Oh, see,
it's
I'd heard a lot of good stuff about it. I didn't. So you think there's not
and
much going on?
well, it's rated very highly, and I don't know, just maybe I needed to be in a different headspace, or it's 150 minutes.
Wow.
Yeah, and I'm like, okay. And again, I don't have a problem reading subtitles. It's just 150 minutes of subtitles. Like, there's a lot of subtitles, dude.
Yeah.
So that is what we watched. Trailers and or anything else like that that you want to talk about.
Elephant in the room, and I think we even posted about it, or no, I know we posted about it on our story on Instagram because I posted about it. There is a trailer out for Lanterns, um, but I actually can't think of any like new movie trailers that have been out recently. Can you?
I'm looking at our Instagram conversations to see if there's anything that we shared with each other.
Actually,
And
yeah,
there's been a
I'll do
couple
the same.
stills from the cinematographer for the Batman Part 2 that they've posted of
Which
like
looked pretty great.
yeah, looks good. Looks I mean,
Same cinematographer who did the stuff for Wuthering Heights, actually.
which again from what I've seen I'm like, "Oh, it's going to look really pretty." So,
Sure.
I'm uh yeah, I don't think there's a ton else. So yeah, if we want to talk lanterns we can, but I'm like, well, it's also not technically a
Well,
movie,
we can
so
talk
we don't
lanterns
have
if
to
you
if we
like.
don't want
However,
to.
if we wanted to keep it like
Since we already did
just
post
movies, we
about
don't
it on
have
our
to.
Instagram, which if you're curious, folks, that's the movie underscore bros.
So we have both watched the trailer, right?
Mm-hmm. Oh, I watched a trailer for a Dracula movie that's out now
Oh,
with
the Luke
Christoph
Beeson one.
Waltz, and
Yeah,
I'm like,
I've
okay,
heard it
like
is all over the place and very strange.
it looks kind of all over the place. I watched a trailer for a not. I mean, I think it's gonna be a easy turn your brain off action movie, but War Machine with Alan Richardson.
I saw that.
I'm like, it looks again. I feel like if I turn my brain off for 90 minutes or whatever, maybe it'd be fun. I don't think it's gonna be a great movie.
Well, I mean, I have watched movies like that and had worse times.
Oh yeah, but and there is a certainly a place for that. Like sometimes I want to watch something dumb and just enjoy it.
Sure, for sure. Yeah, I think that's probably it.
Yeah, that's fine. Uh, for next week, folks, because we are trying to watch different genres and different qualities of movies. Uh,
Because I
just
had
to,
I did notice that, like, well, we tend to only choose movies we know we're gonna like. We should watch something that we're apprehensive about at the very least.
Mhm. So next week, it's going to be available on Disney Plus. It is not Cars 1 and it's not Cars 3, which Cars 1 is actually really quite good.
Oh, Cars
Cars
One's a
3 was
classic.
Cars 3 was fine, like it was all right. But we are going to try and hopefully maybe we can find something redeemable in Cars 2, which is the one that has like the spy espionage uh oil uh
Yeah,
conglomerate sub
yeah.
story.
We'll
Uh
talk about it next week.
Either way, so that's what we're watching. We're hopefully going to see if it's not as bad as I remember, but uh, that'll be coming next week. Otherwise, this has been episode. What did I say? I think I said 85, maybe. I don't know. Episode 85 of the Movie Bros. Thanks for listening, or at least having this on in the background. Uh, as we always are, hopefully trying to expand our community here. Tell your friends, family, coworkers, pets if they listen to you. Like, subscribe, hit the bell, do all the things. Find us wherever you might find podcasts, but not everywhere because, well, that takes too much work. I don't believe we are on Amazon or Apple. So find us on YouTube, find us on Spotify, find us on Instagram. Anything else, Hayden?
Um, Probably not.
All right. We will catch you all next week.
All right.